Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today I'm taking a look at a simultaneous selection card game called Jack's Friends. In this game, which has a Jack and the Beanstalk theme, the players are going to be all playing a one versus the rest style game in which the giant is trying to capture the other characters, attempting to come in and steal his goods, while the other players are trying to outthink him, sneak in, steal the goods, and then also build some houses. And there's a couple of different ways for each side to win the whole thing. But again, it is essentially one of those games in which you pick a card from your hand, put it face down on the table. Everyone does this. You reveal them, and then things happen, all right? So let me give you a look here at what it is that happens. Come on back after that, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So here's what the game looks like set up for 4 players. One player is going to be taking on the character of the giant. The other players are all working together, and they'll be Jack's friends. And there are, in the game, 2 ways for the giant to win, 2 ways for Jack's friends to win collectively. So, the giant wins either by catching characters a certain number of times, in this case 8, because it's 4 players, 4 characters at the table. And that's all listed right here, how you set these up, etc. So that's the one way I win, catch characters 8 times, or I run out the clock of rounds here. The other players win by emptying 2 of these 3 cards completely, or by building the necessary number of houses here, in this case, again, 8. Each round goes like this. Each player is going to pick a card that they would like to play from their hand, and they have one matching card for each of the 4 out here. So they've got the kitchen, the village, the garden, and the hen house. If they go somewhere and I did not also go there, the giant, they are going to be allowed to do something. And so for now, let's say that the players picked this, and this player picked that, and this player picked, that, and I picked this. So we reveal them all simultaneously. There we go. For each character I caught, so these 2 are going to the hen house. I also went to the hen house. I caught them both. I track 2 turns up here. This character went to the kitchen. I did not go to the kitchen, so they're fine, and they steal 1 meat, and they put that on their house card over here. The players I did catch need to eat, or they skip their next round. And in order to eat, you have to give back 1 meat or 2 veggies. So these 2 characters, these 2 players, are out of the next round. Once that's done, I discard the top round card here, and we do it again with this player collecting their cards and going, let's say, they're going to go here, and this player is going to go there. No, they're skipping a turn. Never mind. So that's it. And so this player reveals their card. Let's say I went to the garden myself. I catch them, and they would skip their next round. I click 1 on here, but they're able to eat, so they eat this. It's removed from the game, and they will be back the next round. I remove the next round marker here. All 3 players are back in now. Again, this one would have just skipped a turn, but they were able to eat 1 food or 2 veggies. And so everyone is back in. And so let's just say this player goes to the village this time. This player is going to go to the hen house this time. This player goes to the garden. This would all be secret, of course. And let's say I caught none of them. Let's say I went to the kitchen. This player would get 1 veggie. That player at the hen house gets 1 golden egg. And this player at the village can build 1 of these houses. And if they had a golden egg, they could get rid of that and build a second house. All right? So that would be it. The round ends. We pick up our cards. We do it again. A couple of other things to mention here. If I ever catch characters at the village, I also get to steal any 1 thing from their cards and put it back in the supply of, whatever the spot is. So for example, next round, let's say this player is going to go there just to show that, and this player is going to go there. Yes. Let's say I also went to the garden. Or, yeah, no, let's say I go to the village, all right? I went to the village, and so I catch that player there attempting to go to the village. I click 1 and I steal this and put it back where it goes. That player went to the garden, they get their veggie. That player went to the kitchen, they get their meat. And these are starting to dwindle. So again, if they empty 2 of the 3, or they build all of these before the clock runs out, or I catch the necessary number of people, then they will win. Otherwise, I'll win. The giant will win. And that's basically it. You continue doing this, trying to predict as the giant where you think the players are going to go, trying to avoid the giant if you're one of the other players, and attempting to win. By the way, next time I catch this character, I say they go to the hen house and so do I will catch them and get my 1 point, but they'll be able to eat these 2 veggies and be back immediately the very next round instead of having to skip one. So that's it. That's everything that's going on in the game. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. All right, so that is Jack's Friends. Let's talk about it. Thematic ties. I think this game has a cute theme. I think it works well. It's neatly implemented, and it makes for a vibrant package overall. It's a good theme. It sells the idea well enough, so I'm happy with it. The aesthetics are also quite charming. There's not a ton of artwork in the game, but what is there is well done. It's attractive, it's cartoony. I like the look of the game, and I certainly like the components in the game as well. The little wooden bits, the golden eggs, and the little meat especially looks great with it painted in. Very cool. So the aesthetics are nice. Replayability, I think, is very low. The game is quite random, of course. There's going to be a little bit of that double think, right? Like you must think that I'm going here, and so since I know you think that, I'm going to go there instead, but you know that I might be thinking that, etc. But it's still, the replayability is still very, very low. There is nothing you are going to discover that's new after 1 play of this game. And it might even get a little bit older during that first play. It's possible. So ease of play, or game length is fine because the game is very short. And that's a good thing. That's a saving grace here. If this game was any longer, I would have even bigger problems with it. But it is only about 10-15 minutes. So it works fine as a sort of silly time waster. It's okay for that. So the game length is appropriate for what it is you are doing in the game. The ease of play, I also think, is fine. There's not a lot of rules here. You have to remember that, when I catch you at the village, I have to steal a thing and put it back. If I catch you, you have to eat. But there's not a ton going on there. So rules are straightforward. And then lastly, the tactics and the strategy, there's not a whole lot of that. I mean, there's the idea of, okay, well, you've got golden egg and you've got a golden egg, so I'm going to go to the village and, hope you don't go there, because if you do, you can get rid of that and build 2 houses. But again, that's obvious. It's open information, and it is just double think. That's all this game is about. This idea of picking a card, revealing it, and did I outguess you, right? I don't like that in the game, the other players, though they are technically cooperating, don't get to do anything together. They don't get to communicate. They don't get to strategize, do any of that. So even that aspect doesn't really add any sort of, tactical interest to the game. It is pretty much a very lucky game. So overall, the game is well produced. I think it's an attractive package. It's clearly, some love has clearly gone into putting this together, and I can appreciate that, but I find the game to be simply lackluster. It was not offensive, right? It was not bothersome to play. There's simply not enough here to trigger those emotions, I think. But it also was very forgettable. It's a game that last time I played twice in a row. It's like, haha, cute. These folks seemed to enjoy it, and then I was done with it. And I am done with it. I don't see myself really needing to come back to this because I don't find simultaneous selection of the, double think kind to be particularly interesting. And there was nothing else in it. So if you are someone who loves that mechanism, then maybe this is something for you to look into. And it is technically an all versus one game, even though the all part don't really work together much. But if you, again, enjoy that mechanism, I think you'll like this game. There's nothing wrong with it, necessarily. I just find it to be mundane and simple and really pretty much forgettable. So there you go. That is Jack's Friends. Cute little package, but not a lot going on under the hood. So I'm Z Garcia. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.